Hi, my name is Jordan Strack, and this is my PowerPoint on the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption. In 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted in Washington. At the beginning of 1980, magma began intruding into Mount St. Helens, building up pressure on the north side of the mountain. There had already been a buildup of magma and gases, making it quite difficult to avoid eruption. Abrupt pressure also allowed hot water to seep into the mountain, causing it to explode. The Mount St. Helens volcano sits on top of a continental oceanic convergent boundary between the Juan de Fuca plate and the North American plate. As these plates moved together, the lower plate melted as it reached closer to the Earth's core, causing a buildup of magma and gas. The type of eruption that occurred is known as a large Plinian eruption, known for its explosive ejection of viscous lava. Some of the explosions blasted a 75-meter-wide crater in the mountain. As a result of the Mount St. Helens eruption, 57 people died, as well as 200 homes were destroyed. Almost 200 miles of roads were destroyed as well, leaving the area to reconstruct and repair for years. Many of the deaths that occurred were the result of asphyxiation, thermal injuries, and trauma. Shortly after the eruption, many scientists traveled to the surrounding areas to observe the damage, causing them to quickly come up with plans to restore the forests and wildlife affected. Salvage logging began in May of 1980, as well as the rebuilding of railways. Operational plantings took place. While dead trees and plants were being disposed, new ones were being planted. After the eruption, sunlight and heat were blocked from the ground by the large amounts of ash and smoke in the atmosphere. This caused the temperature in many of the cities in Washington to drop for a while. Mud flows and flooding from the eruption caused the surrounding landscape to change, as well as buried some of the structures and buildings close by. Wildlife was also affected. Many animals were killed during the destruction, and plants and trees were burnt from the magma. The Mount St. Helens eruption was a regional event, with Washington being the most affected, while shipping over the Columbia River was shut down as the waters were unsafe. The effects also reached many other states, Oklahoma being one of the farthest. Magma is usually formed below the crust in the mantle, so the heating of the Earth's inner and outer core is one of Earth's systems that helped to create the magma. Some interesting facts about the eruption include: some ash traveled up to 930 miles away from the mountain. The eruption also lasted for a total of 9 hours. Minor eruptions continued until 1986. The volcano's oldest known eruption deposits were up to 50,000 years old, and the mountain itself was reduced in height by about 1,300 feet, as you can see in the before and after picture on this slide. An interesting lesson that was learned from this was that people in the surrounding community suddenly realized the seriousness of natural disasters. The attitude toward these natural disasters changed, and many people wanted to be more prepared for future events as well as help more in the rehabilitation process of the community and the land.